In accordance with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, this channel is not to be viewed by children under the age of 13. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everybody, Dranky Mark here, and welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall Director's Cut. Last we left off, well, we did the false flag operation, we infiltrated the Humanis compound, we managed to save Dietrich's nephew Alexander, and we also killed Volker Stahl, the leader of the Berlin chapter of the Humanis Power Club, and stopped his plan to unleash a hate riot in the streets on metahumans. All in all, a good day. Now let's go ahead and talk to Samuel here. I've uncovered what Humanis is up to. You'll find the details in this datapad. Beckenbauer eyes the plans on the datapad, then nods grimly. This fits with Humanis' established pattern of behavior. Horrific and vile. According to the datapad, Humanis compounds all over Berlin have received similar shipments. They are planning to deploy the gas tomorrow morning. He exhales sharply, then nods again. I have a feeling that the Flux State will have a thing or two to say about that. Stahl's overstepped his bounds. His hubris will be his undoing. Actually, I was his undoing. Volker Stahl is no longer among the living. That is excellent news. I'm not ashamed to say that I wish the man dead. He deserved whatever you did to him. And now, I'm gonna see to it that the rest of his twisted organization suffers the same way that he did. You mark my words, within the next few hours, the Humanis Power Club is gonna take a hammering that will make the Night of Rage look like a peace rally. I owe you a great deal, Shift. We all do. I will wire the payment to the account number that Amazon provided. Pleasure doing business with you. It's not every day we can prevent an atrocity. It's not every day we can also prevent an atrocity that involves metahumans. This was a good day. I completely forgot to save this game before this happened. Now to deliver the donor list. And to take care of these. Pop this. Let's get this. And these. Yep, just have to make sure. Now before we do, let's spend this karma we got. We got like 13. Pop this into here. I think it was Socialite, yeah. Let's see, decking. Let's pop one into here and. I think that'll be good for now. So what have I been doing? Well, there was that little storm we had, and then there was also last week where, yeah, I know I didn't stream last week, but there was a lot of internet issues that I wasn't ready to deal with. Anyway, let's talk to Simi. Simi Kim weaves an awkward dance through the scattered refuse. Her two thin lips wobble, but she keeps her footing throughout. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be a sun. We could all use a little sun down here. It's not literal sun, silly. It means tomorrow will be a better day. Monica used to say something like that. When I was tired, when I was sad, when I only wanted to sleep, she would tell me that. She told me I would forget, that the pain would go away. I've lived many lives. But I've been an orphan more times than anything. It was the first story I found when I needed to get away. Do you like it here in the Keursbazar? Kim turns her head so as to not look you in the eyes. Her posture is as someone who fears the possible repercussions of her answer. It's good. I can get what I need from Zach Flash or Doc Escapel, and they let me pay however I can. Monica was always nice, and Paul himself. And the angel's nice to me too, usually. I know Monika's gone now, but I can still stay, right? Of course you can stay, Kim. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I don't know what else I would do. Anybody ever try to get you off The Sims? But I need them. Monika understood that, and Zach says they're safe. I don't know what I'd do without them. Without them, I dream. And I don't want to dream. I don't want to remember. They help me forget. They help me be strong and smart, and I never lose anyone. That makes it a good thing, right? Can't run from your problems forever. I know. Let's talk more another time. Alright. Yeah, that one kinda hit a bit close to home. Considering a friend and a bad way he's going right now. Lucky Strike raises an eyebrow at your approach. A burning cigarette dangles between the fingers of her right hand, and she holds a glass of scotch in her left. Shift. Fancy seeing you again. Yeah, well, I was just hoping that you'd want to chat. Oh? She takes a drag of her cigarette. What color me intrigued? What'd you want to talk about? Been finding much work recently? Yeah, but the Keursbazar isn't the best place to do it. There aren't a ton of jobs out here that if you don't have a network. You don't have people in the Keursbazar? Nope. My crew is in Mitty. There's lots of work out there if you can handle it, but life there isn't as pleasant there as it is in the Keursbazar. She gestures with her cigarette, the tip glowing red in the gloom. I mostly visit your lovely little Kias between runs to restock and relax. It's a good place for that. Nice and slow-paced. She pauses for a moment to search for a word. Quaint. Don't suppose you'd be interested in taking a permanent position on my team? Don't suppose I would. Like I said, I've got a team of my own. Good people who've earned my loyalty 100 times over. I could do a little moonlighting here and there, but they wouldn't take it kindly if I up and bailed on them. She takes another sip of scotch. Better that it stay like this. If you need me for a run, I'm available. You just need to pay me first. Keep things clean and simple. Is the bartender here any good? Nope. It's called Der Weinkeller for a reason. The guy behind the bar is more like a Bush League sommelier than he is a proper bartender. Knows a bit about wine, but when it comes to mixing drinks, he's useless. If you want a drink, I recommend thinking of something simple. Try ordering something with more than 2 ingredients and you're asking for trouble. So you're a wine drinker then? Me? No, never developed a taste for it. She tilts her glass, swirling the amber liquid inside. I'm not a big fan of sweet things. Never have been. Not even when I was a kid. I've always preferred smoke. If you don't like wine, why do you hang out in a wine bar? Because it's usually empty in here, and I don't like to be bothered. And as hopeless as the bartender is, it's tough to mess up scotch if you order it neat. Now, do you have any another question, or... I gotta run. See ya. Yeah, see ya. So yeah, last week there was a lot of internet issues. Like, I was playing a game of Smite and I kept lagging so every like 5 seconds. I couldn't take it anymore. So I was like, I don't think I'll be able to stream this week. And then yesterday was that whole storm thing. But now I don't know if the stream's actually coming in right or if it's gonna be bad. Okay, Dr. Xavier, let's see what you got. Let's see about the cyberware. I mean, an induction jack would be nice. I could swap out the regular data jack I got, and it lowers my essence too. Ooh. Some good stuff, honestly. I feel like I want to rig up Cesta here with some stuff, but I want to wait. I don't know what's been going on with YouTube. There's been rendering issues lately. With what's going on with YouTube lately. I don't know. Just some weird stuff. Let's see. We have weapons from all across Europe. Ares, Kazakh, Ficelli, you name it. If it can be found on the continent, it can be acquired by Medvac Arms. It's a setup, let's do some business. Besides, we do gotta sell some stuff that we found anyway. Boop. Boop. Let's see. Ah, we need range combat 4. Dang it. Ah, I knew we should have gotten the... Oh no, wait, we have quickness for. We just need to get form. We need to get 3 more karma. Right. Right now we're just taking stock of everyone right now. Alesky Lane leans on his crutch while staring into the Berlin sky. Nothing moves above but gray clouds. His faraway look is only broken when you approach. Something I could do for you? Just checking in. I appreciate the effort you're making, but you've got some big shoes to fill around here. Monaco was important to this place. You have no idea, but I imagine you soon will. Nothing stays secret in the for long in the F state. The flux demands transparency. The truth will always get out. The truth about Monaco's death is now on the breeze, flowing through the streets of Berlin. Next come visitors of uncertain intent. Some may just be bottom feeders, sniffing around the leavings of the dead. Others will be hunters, looking to exploit a leaderless tribe. We're all stuffing it to fill the void left by Monica. The old troll rubs a thumb pensively across his single unbroken horn. You might have something there if you can keep that group together. There are trying times ahead. Seen it before, too many times before. Anything else you need? I want to hear more about the war. Lane grumbles and massages the phantom pain in his synthetic legs. Damn it, why wouldn't the world just let an old soldier fade away like MacArthur promised? You were military? Where'd you serve? Back home, with the Finnish Defense Force, Jaeger Brigade. Lane clenches and unclenches a fist, either out of repressed anger or more phantom pain. His weathered face betrays nothing. The Russians thought to come at us from the north as well as the west, through the Lapland, thinking us weaker there. They thought wrong, and the snow was painted pink on both sides of the border. Tell me more about the Euro Wars. Doubt there isn't much I could tell you that you wouldn't have learned in school, that you should have learned in school. Russians invaded, hell if I can remember why. World was more of a mess back then than it is today, if you ask me. They attacked Poland and Finland first. Poland broke within months, opening the door into Germany. I had no contacts in Berlin back then, mind you. Can't really say how bad things were here. Had battles of my own to worry about. Sorry, I won't bother you anymore. Thank you. Anything else? Nothing. I'll be going. Let's see if Sam's got any donations. The new library is a marvelous shift. You have worked miracles for this organization. Our next goal is to purchase a set of Trodnets for our new work training program. I have high hopes for this planned shift. With these devices, we can teach job skills to the less educated members of our society in a fraction of the time it would take for them to learn on their own. With 400 UN, we can make the purchase. Whatever you could spare would be most appreciated. Here, just take what you need. I've got you covered. Samuel's eyes widen. This is incredibly generous. Thank you, my friend. Not a big deal, Sam. Do good with it. I can scarcely believe it. With this donation, we have met our penultimate goal. I will send a volunteer to the data haven to acquire the Trodnets. In the meantime, I will make the happy announcement to our guests. Thank you again, Shift. You will never know how important you've been to the people I serve. It was my pleasure, Samuel. Anything to help? He nods at you. You are a true friend of the Keursbazar. How's Silky doing? Yes, she mentioned you sent her. I don't know what you told her, Shift, but whatever you said, it worked. Silky's determination is truly inspiring. Crime habit is a difficult thing to beat. I don't doubt she'll make it. Thank God his donations are cheap. If they were expensive, I'd have a bit of a problem. Elite? Got that drum fixed? I do! Just finished before you arrived. There's a complication, though. What is it? This drone's got a custom AIOS stack on it. Someone wrote code that sits on the boat loader and configures the drone to only accept commands from a specific user. The thing works like a computer virus, so there's no way I can rip it out unless I got another brain from the module of the drone. From this model of drone. Before you ask, yes, I looked into that. Problem is, this is a stolen corp drone. A discontinued model of a stolen corp drone. There are no parts for this thing on the market around here, so unless you know who locked this thing up tightly, you're not gonna get more use out of this than a doorstop. Trek. I'll ask around for this owner, thanks. Okay. Let's see about the tech we got. Oh, we can get a Fuji Virtua X. Intelligence and decking, the jumpsuit, jumps drone combat, move speed and biotech, decking and drone combat. I think we got some cash. We'll at least recoup some of our losses. So what do we look like now? Huh. Don't think I'll get into it, but I'll try my best. Tommy? She looks up from her comm, idly blowing a gum bubble as he quickly popping it. Hello again. I heard you've been busy. Gossip travels fast, doesn't it? It's not gossip, it's work. Survival, really. Are there child labor laws around here? Kami puffs up indignantly, and you realize how young she must really be. She couldn't be out of her teens yet. And what does that mean? Chill, I only meant that can be a hard life for a kid. She goes quiet for a moment, briefly looking down at her shoes before looking you straight in the eye. Yeah, it can be, but it's better than some other lives. Alto gave me a good job, and I'm super grateful for it. Which reminds me, I should get back to it. See you later? She lazily tips an invisible hat to you before returning to the comm on her wrist. Okay, got stuck again. Mocha soy calf. Okay, I'll do. Turk flashes a worried smile and winks at you knowingly. I have been told you've been busy quite of late, O wanderer of the shadows. My street rats tell me that business is picking up. Is that the man who's taken over Monica Barakazi? Who does it look like you rotundly the Pope of the Vatican? Give him a soy calf, a big one. Put it on my account. I the cut of his jib. A large soy calf? Why, you are the generous one, Goldschmidt. Are you sure you can afford such a gesture? The fat man frowns. And a scone! I was gonna say, and a scone as well. Nothing is too good for him. As you desire, O ample one, the Turk whispers. The man is a moron, but he eats his waiting baklava and pastry, so who am I to care? Now, what is it you like? Let's grab a soy calf. The Turk looks disgusted. Very well, a soy calf, he tisks to himself. Gotta at least be nice to this guy. He is our intel broker here. Absinthe? Absinthe turns to face you. She takes care to avoid looking you in the eye. Shift, a pleasure as always. What can I do for you? I think we already asked this. Yeah, we already asked this. I was hoping we could chat a bit more. Ow! Hello again, my friend. May I help you? Got some questions? You are in luck. I have a great many answers. Algernon, what do you know about the Great Dragon Fierschwing? The elf ponders for a moment, twisting a ring on his right hand. Fiercewing, the Firewing. That is a name that hasn't been heard in some time. Over 40 years, I believe, though I cannot say for certain. Time and I do not get along. She was among the first of the great dragons to awaken, and the first to be killed by meta-humanity. What sort of story goes? Looks like I asked the right person. You got insight? I do. Into a great many matters. Absinthe interjects. A great dragon is not like other awakened creatures. Whereas a basilisk is nothing more than a Komodo dragon whose genetic structure was mutated by magic's return, a great dragon is a creature of magic. A creature that has seen more than one cycle of the world. This is the sixth. When a great dragon falls, the sound resonates across time and space. And therefore you would know? He opens his hands. I am merely suggesting that the story is incomplete. Fiercewing awakened, along with Lofweir, Nebelher, and Kaltenstein, around the first decade of this century. She was first seen over the Horrors Mountains. After a long flight announcing her presence, she began raining fire on every town and village she came across. Why the attack? She was protecting her lair? No one knows. Fiercewing was never engaged in dialogue. German military forces are said to have killed her over the Sox the year she emerged. This after months of fire, devastation, and terror. Her body was never recovered. Whenever I hear the body was never recovered, I immediately think faked her own death. Beware the Holovids, my friend. They will rot your brain. Nevertheless, it is possible that Firewing still exists. Dragons are cunning. Quite cunning. And a sealed emergency zone is, by its very nature, sealed. You cannot know what happens inside with certainty. One must wonder what effect the radiation from a nuclear meltdown might have had upon her. Any theories? Algernon crosses his arms across his chest. No, I do not deal in theory. Despite her death, there is a rumor that she has been seen over Iceland sometime after her fall, but has never been confirmed. Some speculate that the viewer witnessed her astral form and that her body still lies in the socks. Now, is there anything else that you need to know? Ever heard of a gang called the Keursbazar? Sadly, yes, they are quite active here in Berlin. They're fascists, plain and simple. They cling to Christian doctrine to justify their actions, but they are killers first and religious fanatics second. Just, what is the deal with religion here anyway? I never paid much attention myself. Well, it's complicated. We stand in a country that has clung to its religious heritage with considerable zeal. In much of the developed world, the awakening shifted public perception away from organized religion. But here in Germany, it had the opposite effect. While many developed nations had adopted spiritualism, some here might call it paganism as their de facto belief systems, the Germany of 2054 remains a Christian nation. Whether that it's a good or a bad thing is once open to interpretation. I take no stand on the matter either way. What do you believe? I am a simple traveler and a seeker of truth. I believe what I directly observe, and I have observed... His voice trails off, and a corner of his mouth twitches up into a smile. Much. In my view, all belief systems are essentially different ways of interpreting the same thing. Magic is an underlying force of the universe. It is a fundamental truth. Religion is the lens that societies use to focus the enormity of that truth into something that their people can understand. But what is the source of magic? Where does that truth come from? You ask questions that we have no answers, young human. The elf strokes his beard, a contemplative look on his face. My experiences lead me to suspect that magic is its own source. You may of course choose to believe it differently. It matters little to me either way. So you think the world's religions are wrong then? Did I say that? No, young human. If anything, I say that all belief systems are equally valid. After all, there are many different interpretations of the truth. And how can the truth be wrong? Makes sense. Thanks for the talk. You are most welcome, young human. Anything else you need? Let's see what he's selling. Well, he's definitely got upgrades to spells now. And outfits. Yep, he's definitely got a lot of upgrades now. Ooh, manifest. I'll definitely keep an eye on some of the key casting spells for when I do my Hong Kong playthrough. Okay. So, let's see. We'll toss 5 in this bag just to be nice. So, what else has been going on with me? Well, chatting with friends, dealing with problems. The new free games for this month are coming out. That's always neat. I mean, I'm really glad that Biomutant and Mass Effect are being involved. Looks his eyes wide when he sees the drone that you're carrying. He looks anxious. Hey Chief, how's it going? Found this drone in the hotel vault. Does it belong to you? Yeah Chief, that's mine. I didn't want to say anything at the time since it was my idea to have you loot the vault in the first place. What was it doing in there? It's my personal drone. Good to have something to hide behind when you're on the solo decking run, you know? Luster took it from me when she seized control of the Schwarzherzen. I've been hoping to get it back ever since. Gotta say, Chief, it hurt me to see her all banged up to hell like she was. It looked like Luster had a few of her goons take turns on my baby with a baseball bat. But it looks like you got her up and running again. How'd you manage that? Millie, fix your drone. She says that I won't listen to anybody but you, though. Score! So, can I have it back? Sure. No use to me. It's no use to me anyway. And now Blitz has it. Blitz stubs out a cigarette as you approach. Shift. I was hoping to see you. You have another run lined up for us yet? I'm shot for cash. Don't worry, we're doing fine on the job front. And still been working overtime. Oh, thank God. And thank you, Chief. Thankful too, come to think of it. So, did you have a question for me, or was this a social call? Just checking on you. Any problems aside, you doing okay? Not too bad, Chief. Not too bad at all. It's downright cozy in here. The problem goes without saying, but it's also nice to have my skills appreciated by someone who isn't a drug-addled psychopath. Gang life was getting old. Why are you shot for cash? With all the viewing we've been doing, you should be rolling in. With all the work we've been doing, you should be rolling in again. What can I say, Chief? He tries to on a thoroughly unconvincing smile, but immediately seems to think better of it. An anxious look on returns to his face. I have expensive tastes. How expensive are we talking here? Even if you have a raging cram habit, I think you'd have at least some money left. Expensive. Truth be told, I'm in debt. In debt? To who? He hesitates before responding. When he does, his voice carries an inch of annoyance. No offense, but this is getting a little too personal, Chief. My debts are none of your business. If some bookie sends his thugs here looking for you, it's gonna become my business. So talk. Now. Blitz shakes his head in exasperation. Alright, fine. First off, you don't need to worry about anyone coming after me. My debts are to a bunch of old contacts. If I don't pay them, I'm gonna lose them. In this line of work, it isn't smart to burn bridges. Is that smart? Second, before you ask, those debts are for services rendered. I was in a tight spot, I needed some help, and I threw around a lot of IOUs to get it. Third and finally, the trouble I was in involved a girl. I'll tell you about it if you ask me to, but we're verging into deep personal feelings territory. So if you don't want to hear me sob over my ex-girlfriend, you drop the subject now. So it's up to you, Chief. You really want to go down this road, or do you want to keep this relationship professional? Go ahead, tell me. I'm interested. Blitz meets your gaze for a moment, then looks away and sighs. Alright, where to begin? I met Emily in Drogenkip. She was the first person who was ever more important to me than myself. I was crazy about her, Chief. To this day, she's the only person I've ever met who could outdeck me. The real kicker is that she wasn't even a decker by trade. There wasn't nothing she wasn't good at. I dabble in rigging, but in Emily, that girl could pick up anything she set her mind to. Sounds like a hell of a girl. She was. She made things right. No matter how stupid I was, no matter what I got myself into, she made it right. I don't think much of many people, Chief. Emotional attachments aren't really my thing. Love seems like a diluted word these days, so I won't list it on Emily. Just say that she was important to me. And then I lost her. I didn't know what was happening. It came out of nowhere. One day she was just gone. All along with most of my decking gear. The only explanation was a handwritten note on old-fashioned paper. Leave me alone. That was it. We've been working for years, and that was all she left me. That and his beat-up old cyber deck. Naturally, I freaked. We'd had our share of arguments, but we'd never had a huge blowout or anything. I couldn't think of anything that would drive her to do a thing like that. Mostly I felt hurt, so I searched for her in the real world and in the Matrix. And when that turned up nothing, I started tapping my contacts. And that was when I started racking up debt. So, did you find her then? No, she's gone shift. Without a trace. I looked high, I looked low, I poked into everything I could think of, and my contacts did the same. She shakes his head. She's gone, Chief. At this point, I've accepted that, but I can still repay those debts. I'm surprised that you given up so easily. There must be someplace you haven't looked. He blinks. I don't know, Shift. I really did look everywhere, and at a great personal cost. If she means that much to you, you owe it to yourself to try. Yeah. Hey, you might be right. Shakes his head. Fuck! Thought I was done with this. But you're right. Without some kind of closure, I'm never gonna be at peace with this. Thanks for the talk, Chief. I'll let you know how it goes. You do that, Blitz. Good luck. I mean, I know for a fact that she might have had a good reason to basically leave him, but I don't know. Dietrich? You really came through for me, boss. You ever need anything from me, anything at all, you can call on me. I'll come run it. How's Alex holding up? He's a good kid, that nephew of mine. Give him some time and he'll shake Stahl's programming. It might take a while, but he'll adjust to life here at the Keursbazar. In the meantime, I found a good room for him. Samuel's agreed to take him in. Is that wise? Samuel's employees have no love for Humanis. Most of them don't even like humans. Best thing for the kid will be to learn through immersion. If he stays with Samuel's group, he'll have no choice but to interact with metahumans. Soon enough, he'll learn that they're no different than anyone else. First few days will be rough, no question. But he'll make it through. He'll come out on the other side a better man for it. He seems like a tough kid. I don't know that you're right. Dietrich claps you on the shoulder. You're a good man, boss. On to other things. Remember what I was telling you back before we climbed into the van? Yeah, you said the Dragon Slayer was happy that you'd be given a reward? That's right. Thanks to our, let's not mince words, heroic actions back in that swine pit, the Dragon Slayer has been seen to grant me his favor. His grand lion is what I can do with it. Namely this. As you watch, the spot that Dietrich is pointing at begins to glow. Lines of force spread out in a scintillating web, and a feeling of raw power suffuses your body. I've just torn open a channel between myself and the Dragon Slayer. That power you feel is his power, pouring through the aether into the spot. If you're familiar with ley lines, it's the same basic concept. I consecrated that patch of ground, and as long as I stand on that spot, all my magic gets stronger. He crosses his arms over his chest. Not bad, huh? What about another major shaman? Could someone else benefit from one of those channels too? He shrugs. Don't see why not. Like I said, it's basically a ley line. As long as you're on the Dragon Slayer's side, good side, I don't see why you couldn't use it. My idol isn't stingy with his gifts. Anyway, boss, I want to keep filling with this, learning to properly control it. I'm sure you got some things to do as well. You take care of whatever that needs doing, and by our next run, I'll be ready to use this. Sounds good. Take care, Dietrich. Ah, crap. Gotta wait for this to pop up to disappear. You too, boss. Dante! pets. I have to do this every day. Every time. Iger? As you approach, Iger turns to face you. Her rifle's been field stripped and it's lying in pieces on a sheet of butcher paper. Arranged in a neat row along the edge of the paper are bottles of copper solvent, bore cleaner, and lighter fluid. Our fearless leader returns. What do you need? Any thoughts on the last run? After all of the moral ambiguity that we've been wading through, hitting Humanis was incredibly satisfying. What they had planned, it makes my blood boil just thinking about it. The thought of Stahl lying dead on the ground brings a smile to my face. I hope he enjoys rotting in hell. I think every meta-human in the planet just is gonna raise a glass in our honor. I'd like to hear about your time in the KSK. She shakes her head. No, I'm not in the habit of sharing war stories. Not with people who've never served. It doesn't have to be a war story. I just want a better idea of who I'm running with. She looks you in the eye for a moment, evaluating. Finally, she shrugs. Alright, Shift, you win. I owe everything to my time in the KSK, from my street name on down. So, you tell me what you want to know and we'll see where it goes. Somehow you got your street name. Back when I was in basic training, a fellow recruit made a vulgar joke at my expense. He said that I reminded him of the north face of the Eiger in the Bernese Alps. Huge and beautiful but dangerous to climb. His tone left little doubt as to what sort of climbing he had in mind. I was thinking he was trying to proposition me in his clumsy way, poking me in front of the other recruits to try to provoke a reaction. She shrugs. Anyway, he got one. I broke 3 of his ribs and the name stuck. Ha! Served him right. Iger regards you with a critical eye. You might actually mean that, but then you may just be saying that to get on my good side. Anyone who uses a line that bad deserves to get smacked around a little. She nods. For once, we're in complete agreement, but there was more to it than that. As soon as that idiot made his little joke, it was a foregone conclusion that I was going to be saddled with the nickname Iger. My only choice in the matter was whether it happened under his terms or under mine. If I hadn't broken that twit's ribs, the name Iger would have meant a difficult sexual conquest to a whole bunch of barracks full of recruits. That's what I would have been to them. From that point on, my own accomplishments be damned. Thanks to what I did, my new name meant the troll who doesn't take shit from anybody. Instead, it's a name I'm proud to go by. I've hung on to it ever since. Iger pauses for a moment and looks you in the eye. A word of advice to your Shift. If anyone ever puts you in the position that he put me in, if he demeans you in front of your unit, whatever his intent, the appropriate response is to put that person down. Hard. Out in the field, nothing will kill you faster than losing the respect of your team. That's good advice anywhere, out in the field or here in the shadows. She nods. By the way, Shift, I am aware that it's more than a little ironic for me to be telling you this. After Monika's death, if you were the one who was dressing me down in front of Ansel and the rest... Well, anyway, I don't want to dwell on it. I just want to say that I'm sorry for putting you in that position. She strains, clears her throat. Anyway, do you need anything else or can I get back to prepping for our next run? Tell me about your team. She nods. Fair enough, I guess that you've earned it. There were 8 of us, 2 commando squads working together as a single unit. Schmidt and Lang were combat techers. Wolf was our rigger and combat engineer. Fisker was handled demolitions. Braun was medic, and the rest of us, Metzger, Kruger, and myself, were weapons experts. Our mission was extraterritorial, technically illegal, but important enough to justify the risk. We'd been sent across the border to Poland. The Russian mafia had set up a cottage industry and human trafficking all along the border nice line, and it was our job to disrupt it. That was more like a police action than a military operation. Wouldn't the GSG usually handle that sort of thing? Typically, yes, but in recent years, the Russian mob has been more and more heavily militarized. The brass decided that they posed enough danger to the region to qualify as a terrorist threat, and that brought them under our purview. Anyway, we were a good team. Experience. We went through a lot together, and we chalked up a lot of kills. In our own way, I like to think that we did some good. Who was in command? Metzger, best leader I've ever had the pleasure of serving under. Her face clouds. He was a hell of a man. But he went down with the rest of the team, everyone but me. What happened? She shakes her head. No. That's one story I won't be telling. They died. That's all you need to know. Thanks, Agar. So, is there anything else you want to talk about, or can I get back to my clean? No more questions. Thank you. She turns back to the disassembled components of her rifle. Sure thing, fearless leader. Good talk. Let's check out that mission computer. Oh! That's the gist. Hijack shipments. Mechbot Gunari to shift. If you value new hardware coming into the Keursbazar, we need to talk. One of my weapon shipments was hijacked by a local gang. I could promise 500 yen, and if you can recover the shipment, I'll have some new gear on the shelf. Come see me for details. Commissioning your services. Withheld to shift. We would like to arrange a meeting between you and one of our representatives. You will find them at the cafe nearby. His name is Luca Dewar. He will be expecting you. Come alone. Doesn't sound too difficult. One unread message. Dr. Escobar. Oh, Escobar. Come see me at your earliest convenience. There's a matter we need to discuss. You have 0 unread messages. Oh, we definitely gotta do Xavier's. Just trust me when I say this. Check stats in the Alice Fund. Current funds, 100,000. Acquired fund, 50,000. Oh, that's only 10, right? Job. Claim payment for the Humanis data steal. Samuel Beckenbauer to shift. Here's your payment, as promised, Beckenbauer. A moment later, a second message pops up into your inbox. The payment details. Payment for climate, 22,500. Deductions for crew salary, 6,000. Ammunition and resupply costs, 1,500. Automatic deduction for Alice Fund, 11,250. Remaining payment to shift account, 3,750. Entries were complete. View notes. Here's a brief recap of the operational parameters for this job as provided me by our client. Samuel Beckenbauer, client suspected Humanis Power Club, is planning something nefarious involving a highly toxic chemical. Beckenbauer wants you to infiltrate a group of smugglers to gain entry into a Humanis compound. Once inside, you uncover Humanis' plan next to the complex. Beckenbauer will pay upon receipt of plans and a recap. Okay, let's see. Job. Ending. Oh. Pharma cleanup job. M space wicks onto the screen. You'll find the complete